Everyone, my name is Shreya and I'm the founder of Memoa. And I'm here with
Chaymie creates, but you can call me Chaymie.
Chaymie. Oh my gosh, we're so excited to have you. And what part of the world are you based in, Chaymie?
I'm in Singapore, Southeast Asia, so that's where I am right now in the middle. Well, not in the middle of the night, but at night.
Yeah, awesome. And so, before we get into it, I want to ask, how's the collecting scene in Singapore? A lot of our users are all over the world, so it's nice to see someone else from Singapore here.
Collecting scene in Singapore, when I started out, like over 10 years ago, I feel so old, it was quite small. Because it was not a huge collection scene, but it has always existed. You know, collectors are there every nook and cranny, but it wasn't as big. But now I'm seeing that that side of nerdiness is more open to everybody now, with younger people coming into the collection, and people are now. It used to be like a niche hobby where when I started out collecting, I wasn't like telling everybody about it. That's why I started my YouTube channel and my Instagram account, so that I could find my own people to talk to. And of course, that's what the internet is about. But right now, I love to see that collecting is a bit more open now, a lot more open now. People are proud of their collections. So I'm very happy to see that.
Amazing. And so, can you talk about more about what you collect? I know it spans a lot of lines, but I'm
Mhm.
curious to hear that.
Yeah, okay, I collect mostly dolls. But there's a deeper thing into that. So if you look at my collection, I have Disney dolls, I have Barbie movie dolls, I have Ever After High, I have Monster High, I have Hot Toys. So if it all boils down to the fact that I collect toys from movies, series, cartoons, video games that I love. Because in my collection, you will rarely see a toy or it doesn't belong to any media franchise. So I think deep down, I'm a movie buff, I think, because I just love movie series so much that what I really want is to collect tangible stuff of the characters that I love from the screen, to have it in my home, be my prisoners. They're trapped here. So I think that's what it really boils down to. So that's why it spends a lot. Sometimes I think I'm a messy collector because you got some people only collect Monster Highs purely, so they could focus 100% on that. Some people does Barbie, some people do Disney, and I'm just like a little bit everywhere. So sometimes I feel like my collection, none of the lines of my collection is complete. It's like a little bit of something is everywhere. So in some senses it's fun, but sometimes when I'm in my completionist zone, it stresses me out because I'm like, nothing is complete in this room.
So, you talk about media franchises and movies. What's your favorite franchise that you love to collect from?
Well, Disney. And me mainly being the Disney animated features. So that's my big core collection. That being, of course, the Disney limited edition dolls. They make up about 80% of my entire collection, and they take up so much space.
Mhm. And do you have a favorite Disney limited edition doll that you own?
It will be Ariel, which would be my first ever Disney limited edition doll that I bought back in 2013 when Ariel had her first Ellie doll. And she's the one that turned everything into this, because it started off just, oh, because she's my favorite, I'll just get her. And then, of course, it snowballed into everything.
I love that. So I live in New York and there's the Disney store, so they get the limited edition dolls. So there was a really beautiful Hearts line, the Villains in Hearts line, and they had Snow White and everything. I love them. So do you take your limited edition dolls out of box? Do you keep them in box, or does it, depend on the doll?
It depends, because when I started out, I was only a purely inbox collector. I didn't want to take them out. So if there's a doll that I feel like I want to take out, I need to buy two so that
Hmm.
I'll have like a backup copy. So mostly for Ariels, I do that. I would most of the time I will get two Ariels so I can take them in the box. But as I got older and have more responsibilities and bills to pay, that got to stop. So now I just open up most of the dolls I get, because again, also like life is short. I can't take anything with me here. I'm gonna enjoy what I spent my money on, so I take out mostly everybody now. But there are, of
Absolutely.
course, a few special dolls that I pay too much that I'm like, okay, maybe some exceptions.
That makes so much sense. And I'm seeing in your background, you like Lady Gaga. I'm seeing all the albums and everything. So how did you get into Lady Gaga and, like you said, collecting her franchise or collecting her media?
Actually, it's so funny that you touched on it, because before I collected dolls, I was collecting Lady Gaga stuff.
Wow.
So I would be like buying every single edition of the albums because back in the day, physical media was bigger than what it is now. So, for example, her album The Fame from 2008 have like a ton of different versions. Every country basically got their own prints, and I would be buying all of that. So only here is only the records and the vinyls because I have so many CDs that are just packed away. I have a few in my in front of me right now. So sometimes I joke that I betrayed Gaga and then moved on to dolls. Of course, I never stopped loving Gaga, but I'm not as crazy as before because for Gaga now, I would only get the editions that I want, and then that will be it.
Well, speaking of dolls and Lady Gaga, I know you have the Monster High doll, which I thought was an amazing collaboration.
She's making a cameo.
Oh wow, she looks. I love this doll so much. It's so detailed and so Lady Gaga-esque.
Yes, I actually when she came out, I actually got a few so I could put her in the tux. And also there's one where she's in her extra outfit.
Oh wow, I didn't even know she had an extra outfit. That's so
Yeah,
cool.
she had an extra outfit, this plaid jacket number from the Born This Way era.
Oh
Or
wow, that's awesome. And so I know you also collect Hot Toys. So tell me how you got into Hot Toys.
well, for Hot Toys used to be just figures that like to look at. You know, every time I pass by an action figure store, I will admire them. Like, oh, they're so detailed, they're so cool. But I never thought it would be for me. It changed when Superman came out and I saw Henry Cavill and I was like, I need to have a mini of him in my room. I got the Man of Steel Superman figure, and then of course Batman v Superman came out and I fell in love with Wonder Woman all over again. I always loved Wonder Woman when we had the early 2000s Justice League TV show back in on Cartoon Network, I think. So, of course, when Wonder Woman came out, I started getting the Wonder Woman Hot Toys figures, and that's when it started.
So I think now would be the perfect time to actually share your Momoa profile. First of all, I love the color scheme. It's so like amazing. Like it looks like a nice little like blue and purple like sunset. I
Yes,
love
my favorite combo.
it. So before we get into like, the collection breakdown, how did you find out about Momoa and like how's your experience been so far on the app?
So Momoa, I found out through Dolastic's post. So actually, when she posted, I thought this is really cool because something I struggle as a collector is I would buy so many things and I would forget what I have bought. So recently, this past few weeks, I've been cleaning because I have storage bins full of dolls, and I was cleaning them out, airing them out. And as I open each box, the exclamation I keep saying out is, "Oh, I forgot I had her. I forgot I had this. I forgot I had this." So that's when I was like, I need like somewhere to really track everything that I own, just for my own sake, so that I can keep track of it. And then I saw the Elastics post, and that got me intrigued. So I actually tapped on Momoa to check out what the app was, and I found your message. That's when I responded.
That's amazing. And so I love how everything is categorized. I mean, you have your limited edition dolls. Let's actually pull that up. We have this cool new way to visualize your collections now. In case you were wondering, we can go through each of yours right here. So as I'm swiping through, tell me, what are your favorites of your limited edition dolls? Like I know you mentioned Ariel, but do you have any fun like memories or stories associated with the dolls that you've captured here?
I'm a weird sentimental person in a way where I remember stories of every single doll that I buy. It's I would even remember small details like, oh, I was having a bad day that day when I ordered that doll.
Hmm.
But for my collection, if you could go all the way to the Ariel and Eric wedding set, I
Oh,
think
is it this one? Or is it this next one?
no, next one. Oh yes, that's one. That's really special for me because in 2019 I took a brief hiatus from collecting because I just graduated. I'm moving on into the workforce, and I was just dealing with adult world. I took a break from collecting that year, and of course, that doll came out in that year that I was not collecting. And then that being a really limited set, I think it was only 700-ish worldwide. It quickly shot up in price, and I couldn't keep catch up. Forward like just 2 years ago, I was just talking to a friend on Instagram, and they were talking about grails, and I mentioned this is my grail, and he goes, "Oh, I have a friend who has an extra to sell. Are you interested in buying it?"
Wow.
So I was like, yes, but in my head, I'm like, they probably want the market value that I
Yeah.
can afford. So I didn't put much hope into it. But when that person connected us, he's a lovely friend. They're both from Taiwan. They're just the kindest collectors out there. I'll give a shout out. It's Tu and Bruce from Taiwan. Bruce just asked me, how much do you have? How much do you want to give? Like, he's not even gonna give me a price. So I gave a very humble price that I could afford. And Bruce just goes, okay, let's do it.
Oh my God. How sweet. Oh,
I
that's
was,
so generous. Yeah.
yeah. And it was in the middle of COVID back in 2020. And it was so difficult back then. I was struggling with work. And even with that humble amount, I took almost a year because I told him, let me just save up and I'll get back to you. And it took a
Hmm.
year. And then he patiently just waited. And
Hmm.
that's how I was able to have them. So
Well,
it's
that's
a
such a
very
beautiful story. And it reminds
story.
me of like why we collect. It's also not just the items, but like the relationships and the connections we have with them. Oh,
So
that's
true.
wonderful. And as I'm scrolling through the rest, again, I can tell that you're definitely an Ariel fan. Um, this one particularly, I know it's not Ariel, but this Giselle doll is so beautiful. I was just admiring her dress right here. What a
Yeah.
gorgeous doll.
The same person who gave me Ariel and Eric Bruce picked up from me from D23 himself.
Oh,
He got me an
wow. Is D23, where is that located?
and it's an expo, so usually it's at Anaheim. But
Oh, okay,
it's
near
yeah,
Disneyland.
it was exclusive to the convention, so
Oh, wow. That's really cool. And then we also have your Hot Toys figures right here. As I'm scrolling through, any fun memories or stories you want to share?
it's very humble. There's only six so far. I wish I could grow it, and I want to grow it. I also have the Hot Toys Belle, the Disney Princess one, because she
Okay.
was in the Disney shelf. I forgot when I was taking my Hot Toys. But yeah, special memories. The Superman Henry Cavill being my first is very special. And then the Kate Blanchett Hela figure from Thor Ragnarok is also quite special.
This one
Or
right here, yeah.
yes. Again, I've been very lucky when it comes to great collector friends because Hela is also a figure that I missed out on pre-ordering, and she became quite pricey. And another collector friend of mine kindly let her go to me.
Awesome. As a Hot Toys collector myself, I know they can pretty much rack up, but I
Mhm.
love how like detailed they are. It's like my favorite part is like taking photos of them because they're so photographic. You can post
Yes,
them and make so many cool photos.
I have like a giant plastic box filled with their extra hands because I'm so scared of losing them.
Yeah, yeah, exactly. With all the accessories and everything. And you also mentioned you also have Monster High, and so one of our special collabs was who's the creator of
I
Monster High.
was watching that video. It was so cool.
Yeah, we're so fortunate to have partnered with him, and he's such a great advocate for Momoa and Friend. So, going through Monster High, I mean, you have so many beautiful dolls. Do you have any that you want to talk about or share?
So Monster High is also quite special in a way where I actually onboarded onto Monster High quite late because Monster High launched in 2010. I hadn't even been collecting dolls in 2010, so I had no idea they existed. So it's actually funny. Ever After High became Ever After High because of Monster High. But for
Hmm.
me, I found out Monster High because of Ever After High. It was reversed for me. So a lot of these dolls are quite special, but my most special would be the Venus signature doll because I have a thing with my first being quite special because
Hmm.
your first doll is always special for each line. So Venus, um, I saw her in Singapore. There's this bookstore called Popular.
Okay.
Mostly they just sell books and music CDs, but out of all the places I could have found her, I found her in a bookstore and she was $40, I remember. And back then I was in college. I was only making $4 an hour washing dishes. So
Okay.
$40 doll is like 10 hours of me washing dishes. But something about her, I love hair and she had long hair, so that caught my attention and I just decided to buy her. And then, of course, that snowballed into the rest.
I love that. I remember my first Monster High doll, or my favorite would be like the Batsy Claro because I love the color green. And so I also know before this we were talking about the scan feature. So how has that scan feature been used here? How have you been playing around with it?
So, scan feature, the first time I posted, I thought I would have to manually look into the prices. So I posted my photos, I pressed scan, and it was so quick. And I was quite surprised with how accurate it was. And I like that it was not just giving you random numbers out of the blue. It had the sources of the eBay so listings and all of that following below. So it's been so effective. I've been having so much fun just posting and scanning, posting and scanning. What I was doing last night is usually I would immediately take the photo and do it on the fly. But what I did was that I took photos of all the dolls that I was just posting and scanning and posting and scanning. So yeah, earlier I was saying 90% of the time it's always super accurate. And the only 10% is like when the doll is so rare and it does not have quite info to pull from, then it's
Yeah, it's a bit, yeah, for sure. I remember seeing like one of a kind dolls, and I was like, I don't even think we have information on that. That's really great that you've been using it. And so, as we wrap up this, interview, I want to ask, do you have any advice or tips for collectors who are just starting out, or content creators who are just getting into posting about their collections?
Mhm. So for collectors, I always see comments like, especially younger audiences, they would comment like, "Oh, your collection is so great. You're such a great collector. You have a lot. I only have $10." So I would always tell them like, "No, you are just as great of a collector as me. Being a great collector doesn't mean how many dolls you have or how much you can spend. It's about what you feel inside. If that $10 is your true passion, and then you love them so much, you are just as a great collector as I am." Say that to younger collectors or any collectors of all ages who are just starting out. Sometimes I also feel that when I look at certain collections, I'm like, it's a rare doll that I've been missing. But it does not really value. Of course, it's great having a rare doll, but just because you don't have a rare doll doesn't mean that you're less of a collector. You could
Awesome.
have three dolls and you could still be an amazing collector.
Absolutely. It's all about that. So thank you very much,
Mhm.
Chaymie. This wraps up our interview portion, and we'll link your socials all in our platform, and that way you can check him out too on YouTube, Instagram, and more channels.